Everyone stuck in plus 17s and plus 18s think it's because of lack of damage, but that's usually not the case. One of the biggest things people still completely fail is interrupts, and most players don't even realize how much a missed interrupts destroy an entire pool. As we can see on this clip over here, the reason that we died it's because of missed interrupts. This is why I keep players control pools much better. Good groups don't randomly interrupt. They already know who's kicking what before the pool even starts. So this is why I want to show you guys a very important macro that everyone and every pro is already using, and you guys need to be using as well. This macro will change how you play a lot, because this macro you don't need to be targeting the specific mob that is casting to interrupt them, and you don't need to be swapping targets. So you can completely focus on not taking avoidable damage, and you can focus on your rotation to maximize your damage as well. So this is a very important macro that everyone needs to use, and it's going to be on the description down below, of course. And as we can see on this clip over here, I don't need to be targeting the Grand Nullifier to interrupt them. I'm targeting the lingering image, and I did interrupt the Grand Nullifier without being targeting them. You literally just need to be facing the target that it's casting, and you're gonna interrupt that mob. Of course, if you still don't know which casts are more important or not, I have the perfect splitter profile for you guys that's gonna be on the description of the video down below. This splitter profile is very important because it has color-coded mobs that you can see which ones are the most important or not, and for the interrupts as well. So for the least important cast we have this interrupt over here that it's the most yellow one, without having any type of glowing, and the important cast it's the ones with the glowing a little bit more for the orange. So you guys need to be aware of those, and with my splitter profile you guys always know which ones are the important or not. Keep in mind that the macro doesn't choose which interrupt it's more important or not. So if you have 3 interrupts on the screen and 2 of them are not important and 1 of them is important, you need to click the mob that it's casting the most important interrupt, because you might not interrupt that cast with this macro if you just interrupt normally. So keep in mind that, guys. So another thing that I want to talk is avoidable damage. A lot of people take avoidable damage because they move a lot. And as we can see on this clip, I was trying to hit the boss, and I could not hit the boss without taking avoidable damage, because these 2 guys were basically just moving around a lot. So moving a lot, it's one of the things that I actually had a problem before, and when I started doing that, I started taking a lot less avoidable damage, which allowed me to improve a lot better. So you guys need to keep that in mind, and if you take avoidable damage, one of the things that you guys always need to know when to press, it's your defensives. A lot of times you see people dying with their defensives not being used and not being pressed at all. You guys need to be pressing your defensives. You cannot always be depending on the healer. The healers on plus 18s and plus 19s cannot heal everything. It's completely impossible for them. Of course, if you know that the cast is very important, it's gonna do a lot of damage. Like for example, the Deafening Roar on the Mazara Caverns dungeon. You always need to be pressing a defensive on that specific cast. Because if you don't press a defensive, you're probably gonna die. If you have defensives, use your defensives. The last thing that I want to talk you guys, it's the confidence that you need. Because confidence matters way more than people think. If you constantly doubt your decisions, you hesitate, and hesitation destroys your keys. What you need to practice is your consistency. Practice your rotation, and after you know your rotation well, you can start improving avoidable damage, interrupts, and other things that you need to improve. Of course, if you still don't know how to play, for example, any of the 3 work specs, I have the 3 guides that are gonna be on the description down below of the video that you guys can watch and know completely well the rotation that you guys need to be doing, so you guys can start to be focusing on other things like avoidable damage and interrupts like I talked. So consistency, it's a very important thing that most people are not, and they need to work on their consistency. So thank you all for watching. My name is Musget, and I see you all on the next video.